So something controversial that just came up was the new Doctor is a female.
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking, us talking about Star Trek and how, it's different from a child's eyes and an adult's eyes.
Yeah.
Doctor Who has to be crazy different because I see it so differently than I feel like a child would see it. I mean, the jokes, the zings, the humor, the like real life parallels, the religious parallels, the controversial parallels, and then just like the straight up childlike kind of funny characters, goofy characters, and the Doctor saving the day and the Doctor as a superhero. I feel like they mentioned at the end of 11, they had a panel, I think at San Diego Comic-Con, where they said the next season was going to be kind of dark.
Yeah.
They were going to like the funny go lucky kind of slapstick Doctor that was, he had buddies and he was a lover, he had loves and he kissed a girl, those things, that was kind of going to go away. And it was, the audience was sort of split, but I don't know, it was okay. It was good. I liked 12 overall. I really liked I liked him as the Doctor. I thought he was an excellent Doctor. He's witty, he's funny, it's believable, but I feel like he didn't have enough time to really, I don't know, he needed more companions. He needed more stories. He needed more foes to avenge the world against. It's just, I don't know. I felt like he needed more. But I am not, man, this is so funny because here I will have, here I've said I don't like Ed Sheeran on Game of Thrones. I sound like a naysayer. I'm really easygoing about things. I'm not trying to hate all this stuff, but I do not like the Doctor being a female.
Really?
I just can't. I can't wrap my head around it. And I'm all for female equality and acting and everything. Yeah. This ain't got nothing to do with it, y'all. And it's not that I got a crush on all my men Doctor and I can't have a crush on a lady Doctor. None of these things matter. It's just not what I want. Like, I don't know how to explain it other than the way I see the character, the way I love the character is a male character.
Yeah.
And I get that, like, the whole thing about a female has been hinted at and they've talked about it in the past, and it is what it is. It's just not for me. And they were already sort of losing me with Capaldi because they weren't giving me a lot of what I loved with 9, 10, and 11. And I mean, I'm a kind of a diehard Doctor Who fan, so it's just, I'm going to watch it anyway, but I'm just kind of bummed. I'm just a little bummed.
Yeah.
Do you watch it?
Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Well, so yes and no.
Okay.
So let's see, starting, I don't know, about 6 or 7 years ago, right around the same time that my family started getting into cosplay and going to cons and stuff, we discovered Doctor Who.
Oh yeah, the Dalek.
The newer version of Doctor Who.
Right.
Because again, when I was a kid, I remember my dad used to watch the classic Doctor Who.
Yeah.
On PBS, like late at night or whatever it was on. And
I love PBS.
He was a night owl, and he'd always stay up and he'd watch this weird Doctor Who show.
Is it weird that I just said I love PBS? Does it make me sound 70? Because I straight up love PBS.
No, you can love. They
got the Antique Roadshow. They got that woodworking thing. They got the Bob Ross painting kind of stuff.
Yeah,
they got
how can you not love
Abbey.
PBS?
What's up, PBS? Shout out PBS.
So I'd always known about Doctor Who, but I really hadn't known about it. And then I watched the first season with Christopher Eccleston.
Eccleston, yeah.
And I loved it. And I was like, oh, you know what? I should stop watching this and get my family to watch it with me.
Yeah.
So, but I wasn't sure if they would like Eccleston. So we actually started watching it because that was right around when Matt Smith started on the show.
Oh, you started with the 11. I started with the 11th too, and then had to go back and watch.
So I actually started with the Matt Smith seasons, watched all the way through Matt Smith, and then went back, watched Eccleston and David Tennant. So, and for about 3 years, my kids and our whole family was just kind of Doctor Who crazy. So,
oh yeah, like I loved it. It sucked me in so much that it was like I was really excited. I was happy that I got on this train when Matt Smith was still the Doctor, and I could look forward to the new episodes. That was a fun moment. It's one thing when you get onto a show and it's over.
Yeah,
that's one thing. Or it's over, or it's on a break or anything like that. I mean, it's definitely, it's the best to watch it while it's still going, and then binge as much as you can, and then get to look forward to it. So I was really sad that it was the year that I discovered it. I think it was, and it was the year that Matt Smith ended. I only had like a few episodes with him, and I was like, "What the heck? What are you doing
you didn't
to me?"
Get to look forward to it. Yeah, so we were watching it when pretty much, let's see, maybe second season of Matt Smith was new. So we were like, it was couldn't wait for it to be on. And it was just like a big.
We watched it on Christmas Day.
It was like a big deal. Every episode is a big deal, and it was a great thing. In fact, my daughter's first cosplays were Daleks. Yeah. And that's the reason why, because they were huge. I don't know if I've talked about this before on the show, but the area of my shop that I just expanded into, that room was a TARDIS. Yeah. So
I was joking.
What?
It's really, I was joking. Is it really a TARDIS?
Yeah. I built so
I was straight up kidding. I was like, no way. I didn't know what I thought you were going to say.
No, ask any of my friends that have known me for the past 6 years. They'll tell you we had a TARDIS room. So
dang, that's funny.
So I built a whole. Basically, it was not a specific TARDIS, but so like the control room of a TARDIS. I built one of those in a bedroom here. So
my gosh,
because my kids really wanted to do like a parody series kind of thing,
Wow.
So, yeah. So, which it never, we filmed some stuff, but it never really got made.
Okay. So at the beginning of this conversation, when I asked you if you watched Doctor Who and you like low key were like, yeah, and then this is where we've ended up. I'm surprised you weren't just shouting from the rooftops or jumping up and yes, like, of course you watch Doctor Who.
Well, yeah, well, the thing is like I said like yes and no, because for about a good 3 years, it was all Doctor Who all the time here. And then,
dude, that is I can understand that.
And then, people's tastes change and the show kind of changed. And and mostly my oldest daughter, Caitlin, she was really into it. And she kind of associates it now with her time in middle school, which is not a good time for her, in life. So she doesn't really even want to talk about it anymore kind of thing, So...
I can understand
because it's like because she's at an age where you're in your early 20s and you kind of start getting rid of the things in your life that you see as being something that wasn't, that was kids stuff or whatever,
Yeah.
And I think she just has that association. So, and I did the same thing. I got rid of all my Star Wars stuff when I was like 20 something, because I didn't think I needed that anymore. And now I wish I had all this stuff I got rid of.
That's the worst. Everybody does that. I got rid of so much stuff and now I'm like, what the heck? Like I got rid of like Lisa Frank Trapper Keepers.
Oh yeah.
I'm for those right now. Just to have them, just because it's like so fun to remember what it was like carrying that thing. Like I used to, just keep all your pens and pencils that you never use. You just want to keep them tucked in like the cute pockets. Gosh.
So
I don't know.
So anyway, yes, my family for a while, we kind of lived and breathed Doctor Who. But
so funny.
But that's pretty much,
Did you meet any of the doctors?
No, I've never met a doctor. So I've never met it.
And David Tennant.
Oh, awesome.
Which is really nice.
For the record, I really have a hard time choosing between David Tennant and Matt Smith as my favorite doctor. But
okay.
But really,
the Queen's favorite is Chris Eccleston.
You know what?
The Queen of England.
I really enjoyed Eccleston as the Doctor too. I mean, there's not.
Me too.
Really,
I felt like they cut his time too short.
Yeah. Well, he didn't get along with the producers, so that was why.
That makes sense. Yeah. But David Tennant didn't want to leave. That was real. And then Matt Smith did want to leave. It's like, gosh.
Yeah, I know. And also, I actually why can't I think of the new Doctor's name?
Peter Capaldi.
Oh, Capaldi. I actually really like Capaldi.
Me too. I like the guitar and the sunglasses and the coat with the hood. I just like him. He's fun.
His second season, I really like him as the Doctor. I feel like they did a disservice to him by
first season.
They did this weird thing where they tried to make him like cranky and upset and all this stuff, and I feel like they were trying to make him the opposite of Matt Smith, and I don't think it worked.
I don't think it worked.
And
either.
kind of the whole premise between him and Clara was like, okay, what if we have these two people and they don't get along? Wouldn't that be interesting? And it's like, you know what? It wasn't interesting.
He came off as a little mean and unlikable. And I get that they wanted him to be grouchy, but it's like we still want him to the guy's got two hearts. He's got to care a little bit.
Well, once they got away from the Clara storyline and all that, and he kind of got to be Peter Capaldi, Doctor Who, which I feel like in his second season, he was more that. Then I feel like he really found his own, and I always really liked him, but I liked him even more then. But at the same time,
I liked him at the end of him and Clara too. Like.
Yeah,
I liked a little bit of that. I liked the Orient Express in space or whatever. Like I liked that episode. I liked a few things where
that was the thing is there was episodes where it's like those seasons were kind of like, they were too sporadic for me. It'd be like, wow, that was a great episode. And then there'd be like 2 or 3 that's like, well, these are kind of duds. And then, wow, that was a great episode. And there'd be like, well, it was just like way too up and down. I didn't feel like it was nearly as consistent as it had been in the previous seasons, especially through like, there was a couple seasons there for both Tennant and Smith where they were just like, every episode, you're just like, I can't stop watching this. I have to. I can't stop watching.
I've seen some of those episodes in the double digits of times. Like I've watched it so much. Like if I have something going on or I'm gaming or something, I will straight up just like put it on in the background because I like the sounds. I love the music in Doctor Who, which is such a weird thing to say, but like I have them downloaded on my Spotify.
I love the music in Doctor Who too.
They're amazing. The music in that show is like, if you took the music out, it wouldn't be nearly as good. The music, it controls your emotions through the music. It's so interesting. Like, man, I just really enjoy it.
It's a very well produced show. So
yeah, dude, and so low budget. Well, really started low budget like back in the day, and now it's.
Have you ever seen the movie they made about the creation of Doctor Who?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
What was it? I can't remember the title of that movie.
I don't know. I can barely remember my last name.
Anyway, I thought that was really well made, and I loved that movie too. I recommend.
Isn't that didn't they in that one they showed the doctor that had he had a disease and he couldn't like say his lines very well or something. Gosh, it's been so long since I've seen that documentary.
Well, it's just about the so it's not a documentary, but it's
then that's not okay. That's not what I've seen then.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's like I want to say fictional, but it's not fictional because it's based on the creation of how they got the show going.
Okay. Well, the one I watched is too, but they show like the first Doctor and like what he was like and
that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's really it's sad a little bit.
It was, and the guy that plays the first Doctor, is the guy that's on from the Harry Potter movies and from Game of Thrones.
Greyjoy.
Yeah.
Or is it not Greyjoy?
Yeah, Greyjoy. No,
Walter Frey.
Yeah,
Walter Frey.
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I doing? Yeah, there you go. I forgot it was Walter Frey. That's so funny.
Yeah, and who's the creepy groundskeeper guy? Not groundskeeper, but the creepy.
I don't know his name in Harry Potter.
The creepy maintenance guy from Harry Potter.
As soon as you said that, like all the images like flashed in my head.
He's such a great actor, and he does.
Yeah,
a really
he is.
Good job
I like that guy a lot.
And it was written by Mark Gatiss, who's also one of the show writers for the actual show too and stuff. So, who's also on Sherlock and all that. So, But yeah, if anybody is a Doctor Who fan and they haven't seen that movie, it's totally worth watching because you get an idea of, because the thing that kind of surprised me the most about it, because I'd actually kind of heard that before, but it didn't really sink in my mind, was that it was really kind of created as a kid's show.
Yeah. And it feels like a kid's show.
And it's still kind of considered a kid's show, but dang, there's some scary episodes,
Well, in the first season, like it's season 9, the very first episode is scary.
Yeah.
Like with the mannequins and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But it felt like, the parts of it definitely felt like a kid's show, but it's just the real stuff that they deal with is crazy to me. Like the whole like Pons, the whole companion story with Amelia Pond and Rory is just, it's sad. It's just, I don't want to spoil it in case you're thinking about watching, because once you've seen it, if someone had spoiled that for me, I would punch him in the armpit every single day for the rest of my life, because it was such a magical moment to get to just watch that whole friendship and the whole funny acting, and like Matt Smith and the girl who plays Amelia Pond, I can't think of her name. She's in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Karen Gillian.
Thank you so much. Yeah. They're like good friends in real life. I've watched interviews with them together, and I just thought like, it translates on camera. It really does when two actors are friends, and when something that's funny is, speaking of interviews, just to throw back to Game of Thrones really fast, I watched Daenerys' handmaiden, the black girl with the awesome hair.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She has awesome hair.
She got some awesome hair. Like I was laying in bed last night thinking, man, I really wish I had like some short, crazy, huge curly hair. I just like the look of that.
Yeah, but everybody that has curly hair wants straight hair, and everybody that has straight hair wants curly hair. So
but the girl named Ruth in that Ozark show has like a curly, blonde hair going on too. I'm like, man, everybody's got this cool short curly hair. I like it. I'm gonna get a perm, y'all. I'm gonna get a perm. I'm just kidding. Get a perm with me, Eric.
You have to have hair before you can get a perm.
Yeah, but it's so funny too. I watched an interview with her and the Seven Sons leader, the lieutenant of her army,
Grey Worm.
There you go. Thanks. Yeah. I watched an interview with those two and Sir somebody. Man, I'm real good at these names. Y'all wouldn't know I'm such a big fan.
Sir somebody.
I can tell you all these like backlines.
Is it the old guy with the beard?
No, it's the guy that has the stone skin on his arm.
Oh, Jorah.
Thank you, Jorah.
Jorah.
So it's an interview with the three of them, and you can just tell that like the her handmaiden is. I don't think she's that big of a fan of Jorah at all.
Really?
Like, I don't think they get along. Cause
really?
Just the way she just looks at him. He reminds me a little bit of that kind of actor that's like, I'm classically trained. And like, she just seems real chill and smart. Yeah. And then the Grey Worm actor doesn't seem really all that bright, but he seems like he really likes that handmaiden girl and thinks what she said was really funny. And then like, nobody really cares about Jorah. Because he came off so bratty. He just came off so bratty on his, like, it was such a simple question. And I just thought, oh gosh. Yeah. And everybody else in the show, that was the first time I'd come across an interview that had somebody that wasn't that entertaining. But Jamie and Brienne, their interviews are all awesome.
Yeah,
they seem like they're like really good buds.
Yeah, I've watched several interviews with them, and they
I love watching them.
They seem pretty awesome.
Yeah, they're so cool. So it's definitely it's fun. It translates on camera to me. And the Doctor Who series, you could definitely tell the ones that were, that really got along well. And so it's kind of, and speaking of Clara and like her new, what she's done with camera stuff, that's funny. Or on camera relationships, her new show, Young Victoria, I think it's called. That's her freaking boyfriend, the Prince Albert, her husband in the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's so weird. I was like,
I forgot that she had a new show coming up.
Oh, I like that new show now. It's real good. So if you haven't caught that one, that's another good PBS.
What's that on? Is it on PBS?
I think it's PBS. Yeah. PBS does all the good stuff, y'all.
That's right.
But I really enjoy it. Like, she's so believable as the character. I've always been really fascinated with not necessarily modern royalty, but like old school stuff. Like, I like the story. I like there's a whole series on the historical parallels in Game of Thrones, and George R.R. Martin talked about it. Talked about some of the stories he pulled from, like the Lannisters and the Starks. Like, that's based on a real rivalry.
Yeah.
Just obviously not dragons and, not the same, but he still pulled ties from it.
There should be dragons, though.
Yeah, there should be dragons. Yeah. I like to ask my dad when they lived.
Always ask for more dragons.
Yeah, dude. Like, I don't understand.
I'm sorry, I totally sidetracked you, but I love it when the dragons show up on that show. It's just like, can we just please have more dragons?
Yeah, they're so crazy looking. Like, I can't believe it, man. Those dragons.
Anything with dragons or dinosaurs, it's just like...
yeah, or dinosaurs on a spaceship, like that Doctor Who episode. Dude, dragons are and then there's a T-Rex.
Which was actually one of the episodes I liked, so.
Yeah, I like that episode. It's funny because and then the T-Rex in London, like, what the heck? These things make no sense, but for some reason they're funny, and they should make sense.
Make it work.
Yeah, they make it work, dude. Yeah, I like preposterous things that are just ridiculous, but dragons are so cool, man.
My daughter and I were talking about that. Well, I think a couple days ago Caitlin, my oldest daughter, and I, we talk about movies all the time, and let's see, we were talking about, we were going to see War of Planet of the Apes, and we got on the subject of, I don't know, dinosaurs, which is right there with dragons and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we were lamenting the fact that they were making a sequel to Jurassic World.
Right.
Because, Jurassic World, it was okay, but I would rather just watch Jurassic Park because it's a 10 times better movie. And
there needed to be more dinosaurs. The whole world said that. Like, everybody thought, like, more dinosaurs, please.
Well, not only that, but it's just like, we were just like, why can't we get dinosaurs? Like, I want a movie with dinosaurs that isn't a Jurassic Park movie.
Interesting.
Because I feel like people go to see like Jurassic World, and it made billions of dollars because people want to see dinosaur movies, and it just happens to be that this dinosaur movie is, tied to the Jurassic franchise, and it's just like, why can't we have just some cool original dinosaur movies? I don't know, but
yeah, like maybe that's the next big fantasy thing after all this is said and done. Can we get like a dinosaur caveman kind of movie, like they're smarter than we thought, they're not like Neanderthals, and they lived alongside the dinosaurs, and they were buddies, and they rode them like horses. I
just want to see awesome dinosaurs.
That's a great excuse right there, dude.
Yeah, I know. I'm
like totally down for some like friendships with dinosaurs, like Land Before Time with people.
Yeah, I was thinking that. was like, why don't they make a live action remake of Land Before Time?
Yes, please. Man,
I mean, if they want to ride the nostalgia wagon, I mean, just go for it, right?
Yes, just go for it, man. I'd like some more dinosaur stuff. I love dinosaurs so much as a kid. I always just thought they were the coolest thing. I mean, I think that's every kid. They were just so cool.
Yeah, there's just something about.
Did you ever touch any of the dinosaur bones in the museums when you weren't supposed to?
I'm not sure. I probably did.
I did.
I generally touch things I'm not supposed to.
Me too. I went to the. I mean, nobody's going to listen to this and get me in trouble. But I went to the Met last year, and I just had to. They had all these exhibits with like the Egyptian, like the tombs stuff, and there's guards all over the Met. Yeah. But I just straight up just like put my hand and just like it's like my butt rubbed it because I'm like I'm big. It's my butt, y'all. It's my butt, but my hand is on my butt at the same time. So I'm like, oh, I can feel this. I just had to feel it. It's so old. It's like, man, and I know that's so bad.
No,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all the archaeologists out there that want their sweet things preserved. Like, I just love it. I want to touch it. I want to go dig in if it wasn't so.
Well, okay, so I'm like that with costumes too, right? And I know it. It's like if I run into somebody at con and it's like they have an awesome costume, I can see it, but I just really want to touch that piece that I'm like drawn to, and I'm not sure what that is. Do you have that same problem?
I have that exact same problem. I have a problem with touching people in general. My mom has always messed with me, so I like to poke, and so I'll sit beside. Like one year at Thanksgiving, I sat beside her and I just poked her a bunch. I'm like, mom, and she's like, nobody likes to be poked. Yeah, mom, they do. I'm trying to get your attention. It's all I can. And I touch too much. I can't help it. I'm just one of those children that had to, like, I never knew a stranger growing up. I talked to everybody. Everybody was my friend. I didn't care if you were 75 years old or 5 years old. I just loved to touch and talk to other humans.
Well, you're so shy and quiet. It just seems so out of character. It seems so out of character for you.
Yeah. I'm textbook introvert. But yeah, costumes. I love to touch costumes. I feel the same way, but I'm really good at asking because that is one thing that I understand. Obviously,
yeah. Well, and every once in a while, and I try to be too, but every once in a while, I'll just like instinctively do that, and be like, oh, I am so sorry. It's like. I'm not like groping somebody, but it's like even just touching a pauldron or something. They're like, "Oh no, it's okay, it's okay." It's like, all right, yeah. I'm sorry, but I compelled.
And it's funny that you meant that this topic's come up because I rarely meet people in life that aren't okay being touched.
Yeah,
but there are people. So like Van, my friend Van, he's the first person in my adult life I've encountered that it really has an aversion to just being like touched randomly. So like, but we'd all be like laid up on the couch watching movies and I'd just be right beside him. Yeah. And I'd just be like, what is this foot doing? And just grab his foot. Like, come over here, just do it. And he's like, like, stop it.
Don't
like
touch
he hates it. But there are people like that. And then Erica, his fiance, was like, dude, no, Van has his space. Like he has his thing. And I was like, oh, does he?
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then people like us are like, we're compelled by people that have that space. And you're like, I need to violate that now.
And I'm like, it's like, you shouldn't have told me because it's like this little light bulb in me that's such a child. So it's like, don't worry, sweet one. I will help you like it. I will make you like the touching.
I'm going to break you of this. Well, and basically it's
terrible.
It's no different than the sign at the museum that says do not touch, right? You're just
exactly. You make me think like what is it about you? Are you feel uniform blood? Like what am I going to get from touching you? So, I don't know. It's so funny. I don't like to invade people's space, but he's the first person I've met in a really long time that has his little like space stuff and I don't blame him, and I have gotten better about it. I definitely don't touch him as much because he has some cool hair and a really cool beard, and that's hard for me.
Oh, I see.
When I have a friend, and once we become friends, I gotta feel your hair every now and again. That's a contract with being my friend. I'm going to feel your hair. If you got a cool beard, I'm going to feel your beard sometimes. Yeah. I'll stay away from your mustache because it's really close to your nose and mouth.
Yeah, that's understandable. But
I'm gonna touch your head,
you got to scrunch that beard every once in a while.
Yes, beard's just so freaking cool, dude. Especially like a huge, thick beard is just crazy. I don't know. I don't know. I'm weird like that. I really should. Now that I say it all out loud and it's all out there for people to hear about me, I should probably work on keeping my hands to myself.
We probably should.
We're terrible.
We're into the part of the episode where we just claim to be creepers. So
Yeah, sorry guys. If I see you and I touch you. And like I hug people and stuff. Although I've gotten better since I've been on like the year I did so many cons.
Yeah.
I really reeled back on touching people and I wore gloves and things because getting sick doesn't work for my lifestyle.
Oh yeah,
and like when you are around a lot of people, there's a really good chance you're just gonna get a cold, or something.
Yeah.
And that sucks. And my old people live connected to me. And when I brought back that airport flu in December of last year, my entire family got sick. Everybody. And that was like the craziest thing because I hadn't been really sick in 10 years, like that I could remember.
Yeah.
So when I spread that around, I was thinking like, oh my gosh, my grandparents are in their 80s. Like I just made them so sick.
It's like, it's detrimental to their health for them to not get sick.
It is. So I think I started thinking about that more and more. I'd come home and I'd have all my stuff and I'd be all germy and dirty and see my grandmother every day. And that is you have to. And so if I don't openly hug you or scratch your head at a con, that's just because, I got some old people at home. So
yeah. Well, I grew up in a very huggy family. So I'm predisposed to just hug people, even if I've just first met them. So I have to.
I don't come from a huggy family.
Really? Oh, that's interesting. Well, my wife doesn't. So that's the thing that's kind of different in our relationship is that, one side of the family is really huggy. The other side is not so much, so.
Oh, that's really funny.
But my side of the family is all like, if everything's like tactile. So there you go.
Yeah, that's fun facts about us. So I don't know why I became so touchy then. That's so weird. I'd never even put thought to it about why I'm the only person in my family that I can think of that is like the way. I guess my gammy on my dad's side. They're huggers and touchers. So that's where I got it.
Well, there you go. Yeah, some people are, some people aren't. So
yeah, dude. Well, if you aren't, you're going to be. Don't worry, we'll rub off on you. We're coming for you.
I got that one.
How did this comment? Like, look at Turtle. That's all I gotta say about this.
Turtle.
I love Eric missed. So those of you that have made it to this point in the podcast, it's funny
Are you going to tell that story?
Yes, I am. Because I low key said, if you made it this far, put Turtle in the comments, and a bunch of y'all put Turtle in the comments, and Eric's like, "Do you have any?" The story went out laughing because I exploded laughing at my desk. He's like, "Can you tell me why? Do you have any idea why people are putting Turtle in the comments on our podcast?" And I was like, "What? What do you mean? Do I have any idea?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "No freaking way are they really doing this?" And like, you guys had, and it made me so happy because he just missed it because I
totally missed it because it was like 2 seconds before I ended the episode. Yeah. So the day I uploaded it, I'm like, oh yeah, got some YouTube comments. All right, because I like. Because it means people are listening to our podcast, So I was like all excited, and then everything was like turtle.
That made me so happy.
And I'm like, am I an idiot? What is this a joke? That the only thing I was thinking was like maybe it was a joke that I was like on the outside of, and you were on the inside of, and maybe like some of your friends that were listeners knew, but I didn't know.
Oh, I love it.
And then it's like, okay, do I ask Jackie? I feel like an idiot because I really have no idea what.
Yeah, you were like, about. I have a stupid question. I was like, oh gosh,
yeah.
What's this gonna
So
be?
Finally, I was just like, okay, I'm just going to bite the bullet and be an idiot. So, Jackie, do you know why people are saying turtle?
I loved it, dude. It's so funny. That just made my day, man. Yeah. I'm curious to see what people say about our like pop culture. I can't even get words out. My mouth just like completely froze like a floaty. Like that.
Yeah, well,
I'm curious to see what people say about this, just because it's different. It's so different than costuming. I mean, I have notes in my phone and stuff about some new materials and things, but there's so much pop culture stuff going on right now that I felt like I mean, I could talk to the QVC lady. I could call her up again and just say, hey girl, you want to talk? I'm in the shop. I'm just pretty bored. They're live 24/7. I'll find somebody to talk to about a pressure pot, a cooker. Well,
it's craft and geek, so we're talking about geeky stuff. We don't always have to talk about craft stuff. So hopefully, because I know, like with Doctor Who, right? There's like people that love it. People are like, Doctor Who, I've never watched it. Don't care about it. Doctor Who people drive me crazy. So because I am going to divide this into 2 episodes. So the second episode that people will be listening to now, that they're probably, there's that amount of people that aren't going to be listening to it because we spent 20 minutes talking about Doctor Who. So
that is a lot. But
okay, whatever.
It is what it is. And not but those people that maybe want to listen to stuff about Doctor Who don't give a crap about Bondo.
Yeah, probably.
So maybe, you never know. Or maybe they're both. So I like a lot. I mean, I like so many things in life that it's just, As Harrison said, Jackie likes everything. I do. I like a lot of stuff. I don't like female doctor, but I like a lot of other stuff.
Oh yeah, female doctor. I'm kind of. I don't know if I weighed in on that or not.
No, you didn't. I just probably took over.
Yeah. Well, I'm used to that. So.
What do you think? Haha. Yeah. What do you think about the lady, though?
I'm kind of like about it.
I guess I'm about it too, but if I had to say, I wouldn't want it. So I'm gonna watch it, like I said, because I'm a Doctor Who fan, but it is what it is.
In all seriousness, I actually was expecting a female doctor.
Me too. That's the problem. I knew this was coming.
when they went to Capaldi, I actually was expecting.
Yeah, well,
I actually was expecting it then, and they didn't, and I was like, okay, this time they didn't, but I pretty much just figured once Capaldi was done with his run, they were going to, because there's been chatter and talk about it forever. And the producers have spent a lot of time laying the groundwork that, it's totally possible. It fits the character.
It's like they wanted us to little bit know that they were really considering it to see how the audience would react.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, the thing is I watched like 2 episodes of the newest season, and it just, I don't know. The show's just kind of, it's kind of like for me right now. I haven't really felt compelled to watch it. So
well, I watch it, but it's like I've watched every episode on this new season, but I've watched Game of Thrones 3 times already from this last Sunday's episode, and I haven't watched those that many times. So
it's not that I'm not into it and I don't like the show and everything. It's just for whatever reason I just don't feel compelled to watch it that much. So
hey, do you know Valor Props, by the way?
Yes, I know Valor Props.
Oh my gosh. So get this. So I have, hi, if you're listening, by the way, Valor Props used to have like a little cosplay show thing on Twitch.
Yeah, I was on that show.
Oh, okay. Gosh, I don't know how I missed you. That's funny. Get this.
I was like one of his first episodes.
He sent me an email in like 2016 about coming on to talk, be a part of it. And it ended up in my like extra email folder. I've been going through old emails.
Oh, and you found it?
I just found it, and it was like September, October, November, something like that of 20. And I was like, no, I'm so sad. So if for some reason he listens to this, I did not ignore him because like I love Valor Props. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? Like I like so many of his posts. I love his work. So I was just so bummed I missed that. Like what the heck,
That's
email?
Funny. Yeah, I don't
even know how this email is connected. So I'm like I'm on the hunt trying to figure it out because a bunch of weird stuff went there, like a few work related things that I'm just like, I'm mad because they've been sitting there. So
yeah, I don't think he kept up with the show because I haven't seen anything from it for a long time. But he was like one of those that he started out and then got ramped up really fast and then ended up making prop work his full time, and he's just been building like crazy for the past couple years. So. But I thought it was still really cool. So, I had a great time.
If you guys don't follow Valor Props, you really should.
Check out Valor Props. So, good dude, good builder, does a lot of 3D work, does a lot of molding and casting too. So,
he does.
But very, very high quality work from him.
Something else that's pop culture related that's very different than the Doctor Who. Although, so what made me think about it is when we were talking about the female, I was like, man, I wonder if they would have ever gone with a black doctor, or what if they considered that, or an Indian doctor. Yeah. Like another race. Because, of course, they went, completely polar opposite sex, but they could have done that too.
Yeah,
why not? And I was thinking, I just watched like the Black Panther San Diego Comic-Con panel. And
the panel, yeah.
The panel, and it's an all-black cast that's on the panel.
Oh, I cannot wait for that movie.
Yeah. And I was sitting there thinking, like, this is interesting because this is actually like this is going to be a really good movie. We know that, and like it's solid story, solid background. The costumes are amazing, and I feel like that. It was cool to see. It was like the same way Wonder Woman was such a powerful, strong female character. Yeah. It's amazing that like I don't think anybody's really seeing that as race. Nobody's like, oh, it's all black cast. People are just like, Black Panther, the movie's gonna be awesome. It is how it should be. It looks like it should. This is gonna be great. It's not controversial.
Seeing pictures of that cast.
Oh gosh, I hit the table. Sorry, guys.
I was just like, this cast is freaking amazing and just gorgeous.
Yeah. Like, and there was no trouble.
Can you have any more? I mean, every person on that cast is just like amazingly a perfect specimen of a person,
Just like the way that, Iron Man looks like he does. And we've got Captain America. It's like, it's beautifully cast. Oh, and I think I was really happy that there was no controversy for a change with something, because the whole whitewashing thing that went on with oh gosh, what's her name? I can't think of her. I love her, Scarlett Johansson. How that was controversial with the Asian character. Yeah. So people had strong opinions about that. Yeah. So I'm really glad that it's like, it's just a relief in our society where there's just so many things going on that, like, the things we love, the pop culture, the fun, happy, entertaining part of life isn't, it doesn't have drama. It's just fun. It's just I'm totally on board with you on that. But you did say something about costumings for that movie. Have you actually seen the like close up shots of the costuming that have been on display, like at D23 and stuff? I've seen some. Like
oh my goodness, the costuming for Black Panther is like, it's next level. I'm trying to see which ones because I've seen so much in the past week that I'm like overloaded. Yeah. Well, there has been
flipping through like Aquaman and flipping through like everything
coming out and showing. Anyway, take some time, look up like
I will,
because there was I'm not sure if they're on display at San Diego Comic-Con this weekend, but I can't remember. The D23 Disney Expo was last weekend.
Yeah,
and they had them there, and somebody took a lot of high-res shots of the costuming for that show.
Oh, that's awesome!
And it's just like all this amazing, just inspired cultural, it's like tons of beading work, and it's just like they're just beautiful, and the colors are amazing. And speaking of colors and movies and Marvel, I have to throw out there that I haven't watched the second trailer because I don't want anything spoiled, but I am really digging the vibe for Thor Ragnarok. So
okay, I haven't watched any trailers yet, so I'll binge them all on like the cinema trailer YouTube I follow. So I'm gonna watch everything all at once, but once I get a chance to like sit down and watch them, but people are talking about it. And I love that character. I keep seeing like the GIF of the character. I'm bad with like the lore about
Hela.
What's her name?
Hela.
Ella. Hela or Ella?
Hela, like hell with an A.
Like hella good, like California.
Like hella good, yeah.
Hella
like
good, okay.
Awesome.
That's funny. I love the animation of like her headpiece. Like, dude, that's a
real headpiece. It's not. I guess it does animate, but
yeah, the animated part. Yeah, dude, it's so cool. I couldn't really. I was like, man, this looks neat. So
yeah, but just that movie, the tone of that movie, and kind of like the '80s vibe they're going for, and the bright colors, and
okay, now I got to go watch it. Now I got to go watch this.
You seriously have not watched anything from Reg?
I just have. Like I said, I've been trying to do like a full reset on like shop and home to like get ready for this.
Find the teaser trailer, because there's also like a more full trailer out there.
I'm gonna watch the full trailer. I like spoilers.
No, watch the teaser trailer first, because the teaser trailer is just like.
Well, how many Black Panther trailers are there? Are there two of those too?
Yeah, I think there's two. Maybe.
Okay.
Well, they did like a real. I mean, so the Thor Ragnarok teaser is what I would consider more of a teaser, but it's not a huge trailer. Okay. But the Black Panther one is like a real teaser. It's just like a really quick thing. But then there's a new trailer. I think there's a new trailer out for it too. I only watch teasers. That's it.
Yeah, I think at the panel that I was like reading stuff on the panel. I think that's where they released a longer extended trailer. Yeah, okay, and whether it's available or not, I'm not sure. But yeah, it always comes up later. But you know how they're so strict about it, like coming out right away.
Totally digging the design for both of those movies.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And the Thor movies have never been like my favorite, but and I went to see them because they're Marvel movies, and I like Loki a lot. So
I love Loki so much. Like that's why I wish the Thor movies were better.
But I am right. And although I will say Thor 2 is pretty decent. The first Thor is kind of
Is that a Dark Portal or Dark Crystal? Dark World?
Dark World.
Like I would just throw a whole bunch of other genres.
And mostly because I really in Dark World, I love the ending, the whole portal style ending, which I thought was pretty awesome and something original for the movie and something that I hadn't really seen much of.
But that whole movie is filmed with a filter. It's like a sienna green. Yeah. It's like a filter. I don't know how to explain it, but
they probably color graded it. So
right. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like it's something like that. I don't know the film.
It's kind of like the desaturated.
And it doesn't it does not show up very well on my TV.
Oh, gotcha.
Like that made me so mad. So like I didn't watch it in theaters. I watched it on my TV, and I was I can't really see anything.
Interesting that movie comes up because we were talking about Game of Thrones so much. Did you know that the guy that directed that was one of the main directors for Game of Thrones for several seasons?
That's interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, just throwing that out there.
Oh yeah, that sounds cool. So, I mean, I'm just like, I was just trying to think of like a parallel. Does he mean because they're both really dark and I can't see anything?
No. So the guy that directed Dark World is one of the main directors for Game of Thrones.
Oh, so, that's cool. Yeah. I like Game of Thrones.
So they plucked him out of Game of Thrones to do that. But
I don't know how they found time for that.
But the director for Ragnarok, I can't remember his name, and I'd have to look it up. But he's a New Zealander, and he's just like, he's got that awesome New Zealand vibe, you know. And I haven't seen any of his other movies, but I guess he's only done like 2 or 3 movies, but I guess they're all pretty great.
Dude, so, speaking of New Zealand, and that reminds me of something I meant to mention to you before about in the beginning when we talked about production stuff, about like the wigs and stuff from Game of Thrones or whenever we talked about that. Yeah. There is a documentary that I guess comes with if you buy the box set of Lord of the Rings, but you can find it on YouTube too.
Yeah.
It is the best thing I've ever seen for behind the scenes like costume and movie making. So it's Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
It's the first one and the second one. They both have, or the first one, second, and third, because they're it might be the first and second because they talk about the filming the others. No, I'm sorry. There's a Lord of the Rings one and a Hobbit one.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say. Sorry. And they are the best behind the scenes thing I've ever seen. They let you so full force on the set. They talk about how even there's hundreds of costumers.
Yeah.
They show you like the sword battles, how the Weta workshop is like testing what will withhold under certain scenarios and what they look like when they're battling. They talk about how they have to like push the dwarfs down and like lay them on these vaulted mat things to rest them in between takes because the actors couldn't sit down. They talk about how they took everybody had their own helicopters and stuff, and the helicopters took the actors, everybody like that, and a certain amount of costume team got lifted up as well to go with 2 trailers that also went with the costume team that had to go at the top of the mountains when they filmed. Didn't matter where they went.
Yeah,
costume team had to go too.
Yeah.
They took like 20 chickens, 40 goats, 30 pigs. They went in a thing too everywhere. They actually took trees and they're in an 18-wheeler. And I mean, y'all, I got so much to spit out of my head about this that you have to watch it. You won't regret it.
Yeah, I've seen the one for the Lord of the Rings trilogy, but I haven't seen the Hobbit one. So.
You have to watch it. I've been trying to push that on everybody. I'm like, dude, guys, because it is so. I couldn't believe how neat it was. The pyrotechnics. They built this own special part on the Weta workshop or the Universal lot out there for pyrotechnics and the fiery trees and stuff. And oh my goodness gracious, y'all. Yeah, I've never loved something so much. It's been a while since I've really just loved watching something, and that I could watch that over and over because there's all these. I'm like looking around, like, oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? What are they using that for?
I know and especially those movies. It's insane the amount of behind the scenes stuff
that's real too
that they have to do to make those movies. To make them, it is incredible. So.
And the filming and the funny moments you get to see with the actors. And I just, it's just very enjoyable. And it's something you can watch with your family if you got kids too, and they'll find it cool. But
yeah, in fact, I think I watched it with my kids. Usually we watch, if there's a documentary on the DVD or whatever, on the Blu-ray, we usually watch it after we watch a movie or whatever, because I like watching that stuff and seeing what's going on,
Yeah. So. Speaking of at-home movie stuff, did you hear that they're phasing out curved TVs? They didn't do well. They just weren't a thing. Consumers weren't purchasing them, and they're
doesn't surprise me whatsoever.
All companies, I guess, that made them.
It's a totally ridoculous idea anyway.
I know. I'm like, dude, no, I turned my TV. I don't want it curved away from me.
I know. I was just like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it was never something that ever appealed to me at all. No. And there's something else that they're doing away with, and I can't, maybe... I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure that Home 3D is dead too.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, it was something like that.
Because I don't think it took off like they were hoping.
You're gonna see so much on sale on Black Friday. I feel like anybody that has those things left in stock are probably just gonna have them.
I mean, at least with 3D, it actually offered something. I mean, I never saw any Home 3D, so I don't know what it looked like. But it's still kind of gimmicky. But at least it was a feature, a real feature, whereas the curved TV, it's just to me that was just a gimmick, just straight up a gimmick. It's isn't it cool? It's curved. Well,
yeah, cool. Unless it gives me smell-o-vision, I don't really. It's TV, whatever.
Yeah,
like,
right. I mean, because I don't know if you noticed about me, but I actually have like a theater room in my house. So
I feel like I did know that about you.
Yeah. So I have a projector and like a 110-inch screen. So
you have a projector? Do you think the projector is? Wait. You have a 110-inch TV?
Yeah. Well, it's
or a projector.
Well, it's a overhead projector, like a digital projector, but it projects onto a screen that's 110 inches.
And it's good quality because our experience with projectors, I don't know.
It's 1080p HD. I mean, it's not 4K because 4K projectors are still pretty pricey, but it's, it looks just as good as any 1080p TV. So, especially when you're playing like a Blu-ray or something. So, a 40-inch curved TV is like, whatever.
I wouldn't really care about that.
So
yeah. I want a larger TV and some surround sound before this Game of Thrones season ends, so I can just really get into it.
Yeah. So
that's my motivation. Not for Super. Most people get TVs for like Super Bowl and stuff. Nah. Need it for Game of Thrones.
Need it for Game of Thrones. Yeah, there's good sound on Game of Thrones too. So.
I love it. Yeah, I just want.
Yeah, I usually watch it on my big screen because we have a setup upstairs and then the home theater room too. So, which is where I usually watch movies, and Game of Thrones. Yeah. So yeah.
Like how we're talking about. We're just gonna talk about TVs, guys.
Yeah, that was like that was kind of a random thing, but I was really into home theater before I started doing all this other stuff. So
I was really into a lot of things before I started making like I was gardening. I had a really cool garden. I had a whole bunch of succulents. I love succulents. I love propagating them. I would propagate them in the winter. I grew seedlings. I've got heat lamps and heat pads and stuff from Dirt Genius.
My wife is a big gardener. She has a whole succulent garden.
Oh yeah, I love succulents. I loved gardening so much. It was so fun, and I barely have time for that now because you could garden for hours and hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, it's a total time suck.
And it's a hobby. It really is a hobby.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a hobby.
It's a hobby that I can't do with this one because I could do like small other hobbies alongside this one, but not those two things. They do not go together.
All right, so now
I can play the piano.
Now we're segueing into gardening with Jackie.
Yeah, Liz has been, oddly enough, cosplayer Liz Berkeley. She has been gardening. She's like, she's pulled back on cosplay a little bit. She's doing a little bit of gardening. She's really enjoying it. So California grows everything, though. I have so many bugs to deal with. It's crazy.
Grow anything in California, really.
Yeah, we have like massive bugs here, so I can't get. I have satchels. Why did I say sachets? What a weird word. Sachet, isn't that a thing? What's that mean?
That's like a strut, right? Kind of a sachet down the runway.
Yeah. Y'all don't understand. Like, I ask Eric, funny. So I like to use things. I like to take words or phrases and just use them however I feel like using them. I don't really care. I don't care if that's not how I'm supposed to use it, as long as it's not offensive. So I've been calling people, like Matt was saying, long in the tooth. He kept calling me long in the tooth, so I keep calling other people long in the tooth. And like, I had no idea what long in the tooth meant. And I called Eric long in the tooth, like joking. And he's like, I was like, do you know what that means? And he did. He straight up gave me the actual definition. I was like, oh, okay. I was just planning on continually using it because nobody knew what it meant.
It means old.
Yeah, all right. Well, now I know. I thought it meant like looking scraggly or all kinds of things. I was just using it however I felt like it.
So, you could probably use it for scraggly too.
Yeah, you could. Now that I know, I'm just going to continue.
That's more like mangy, though. Mangy.
That's a great word too. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so I got these satchels with lavender, and I have peppermint oil and a spray thing because I live in an area with bugs and moss and so many crazy things, and the marsh is just across the way. I have to like be very careful what gets in the house because
that's true.
We have so many moths. I mean, just an outrageous population of moths, and that makes me nervous.
I'm very glad that I live in an area where bugs really aren't an issue.
Yeah, I literally, after spending time in California, I couldn't believe it. And New Zealand, when I went there weren't really bugs either. Not like there are here.
Yeah. Well, and then that comes back to your current obsession, which is making things and then painting things, and you don't want bugs in your paint.
I get bug. All my costumes have some bug, like a exoskeleton or whatever in it, or a couple wings because they've been outside at some point, and the resins
that's
and
the
things.
Worst. I hate that so much. You lay down a perfect paint coat and then it's like
Dude, yeah, I took a photo of my gauntlet I made for Farrah, and there was a freaking little bug just like chilling on it right after I sprayed it. there's like a caterpillar. So I'm like, how did you even wiggle up here that fast?
What a jerk. What a jerk.
Yeah, bugs are a problem. But other stuff, I mean, it could be worse. I could have Bill's problem with just cat hair.
This is true.
Yeah, like I don't know what the trade-off is. I can't control the bugs, and you can't really control the cat hair because
you can't.
It's in the air.
Can't. I've had cat hair in clear coat before, and it was like,
Yeah, I get my own hair and my clear coats and stuff.
I don't have that problem for some reason.
Yeah, I could see that. It's ridiculous, though. I was thinking about something after I finished the Nintendo project. I have a problem with keeping clean hands in between. Like, I do a lot with my hands. I talk with my hands. I smear and smudge and do paint stuff with my hands. And I always end up with stuff on my hands. So I have to, like, y'all, you don't even know. So I was holding some of those electric neon Nintendo props with a hand, and I'd have like a little bit of white paint that got on like the upper part of my finger, and I rolled my finger into it. Transferred. And there's no getting that off.
You don't ever use disposable gloves?
So I do, but I in a rush or whatever, I'd go in between. And my hands get sweaty, so I'd give them a break.
Yeah,
but I've had to get like wipes to keep in the shop to keep my hands clean because I learned so many lessons on that Nintendo project. And towards the end, I was like, keep your hands clean, keep them clean. Yeah. And I started wrapping my props with like saran wrap and holding it on the section I'd have to hold it.
Yeah,
and
I'll do that sometimes.
The ink tanks, which are like these beautiful clear tanks. I was so nervous about getting stuff on them, and I'm so glad this day before I sent them, I wrapped them up because I had stuff all over my hands, and I straight up hand printed it. Like, there was all this stuff on the saran wrap because I was in such a hurry.
Yeah.
And that is like the most, I mean, that's crazy to me because it's like, don't you think in your head, these props, these costumes, they're so valuable with time and or money, and you think I'd care, and it's not about a care thing though. It's like I just get so I get so caught up. Yeah,
you get wrapped up.
I've been really trying. You funny, yeah. I've been trying really hard to just be more be in the moment and focus a little bit more. But that it all boils down to the fact that it's a 1 to 2 person workshop that's just it's going at full speed, and I need to be able to slow down and analyze. So.
There you go. Slow down and analyze. All right. I'm analyzing this episode as being done.
Okay.
How's that sound?
I think that's fine. I feel like your house has just turned into a horror movie. It looks like there's like smoke coming in that door, and like you're in a black room. I'm not sure if you're not.
I'm not sure how it got so dark. How it got so dark behind me all of a sudden. So.
Wait, you really don't know because it.
No, it's weird.
I can't tell if you're serious because I'm a little concerned for your safety.
I'm serious.
I need you to move your head slightly to the right or left so I can protect you from your rear. I'll watch your 6.
What's back there?
Look how scary that looks.
Like, I don't know if maybe because I have a window right here, and that's where my light source is. So.
Doesn't it look hazy and like blue?
If I open this up, it'll.
Thank goodness we need some light. I was worried Jason was going to start walking through that door in a second.
So, because I didn't want to be blown out like the last video. So.
No, you look fine. You look really good in this one. It's like the way it translates. I don't understand it because to me, y'all that have seen Eric on some of the YouTube videos, and maybe he looks like blown out, he looks perfectly normally tanned to me. So I don't know what the compression or the YouTube did to it, and like they just washed him out. It's so crazy because to me, you look like you don't even look pale. You look like a normal skinned person. Yeah,
and the thing is if I look at the recording, it looks fine. So I don't know, whatever.
Well, I mean, here we are sitting here recording it, and it's like some of the most recent ones are the ones that look really white, but it's so weird to me because I feel the same way about like I've been trying to set up lighting in here, and a lot of you guys know for the cosplay lighting, it's really hard to get all the things lit up the ways that you want it to. So you usually have to do it in post.
Yeah, it's hard to get lighting right. So especially in this room because I have this window, right? I mean, literally, there's a window right there.
It's so weird. The sun's like nice and shiny there. I miss that.
It is. Okay. Well, I'm pop culture talked out.
Yeah, me too. I think I talked about everything I want to talk about.
Yeah. Plus, I have swords to make. So anyway,
cool.
If you made it this far,
what are you gonna say?
Werewolf.
Werewolf?
Yeah.
That's the thing that's not even that going on anymore, huh? There's no more werewolf stuff.
I don't know. Just saying.
I don't know. I could get down with some werewolf. Actually, I've never really been a big werewolf person. I take that back. I'm more of a vampire person. You
just said horror, it looked like a horror movie or whatever, and the first thing that popped into my mind was werewolf.
The funniest part about this would be if I actually paid your daughters to prank you, and like they're about to come through with some like Freddy and Jason costumes, just get you good. Ooh, that would have been such a good idea.
I don't scare easily, though.
With a little smoke machine. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to scare you either. That makes me a little nervous thinking about it, just because I feel like your reactions are really like calculated and quick. And
I'm glad you think of me that way. So
I do, yeah. I feel like your reactions are really.
We'll just keep that illusion going.
It'll just be like a big like headlock and take me down, and I'll be like, "What happened? How'd you do that? I don't know."
Alrighty.
Yeah, well, werewolves and stuff. Werewolves and tackling.
So yeah, thanks everybody for being here, and we will have a guest back soon. I promise.
We will. We will. We'll have guests, and we'll talk about.
a couple weeks without a guest, so we'll get somebody back on soon. We have a big long list of people to go through, so it's just getting through the summer with busy schedules has been difficult. So
yes.
Anyway,
thanks for listening.
Thanks
Bye,
everybody.
guys.
Bye. See you next time on Craft and Geek.
Bye.
Bye.